Hey guys, what's up? Today we are going to destroy our RS9 from Resilient Suppressors. Let's get into it. Alright, so yes, we're gonna hopefully destroy this can. Kind of for science. Also, long story short, the ATF basically messed up some stuff and approved suppressors that weren't supposed to be approved. So this thing has some mismarking stuff on it. It needs to be sent back and destroyed. And I'm gonna get a new one, I believe. And this one, we're gonna break it because it's going to be sent back to Resilient to be destroyed. And I was like, if it's going to be destroyed, why can't we just overly use this thing in ways it shouldn't be used just for the science to see how it works or doesn't work, or if it does work. So what we're gonna do real quick is I'm just gonna shoot this on a 9mm on our little Space Invader clone-ish inspired look-alike, just to show how it still works. It's a great can, low back pressure, all the things, it's wonderful, it works. Then we're gonna throw it on a shorty little AK. We're gonna throw it on a 30-06. I got a full auto, AR-15, M16, whatever you wanna call it. If those don't kill it, then we have a 45-70, and we also have a 40 Glock 23, right? A threaded Glock 23. Now the threaded Glock 23 and the 45-70 are definitely overboard, and maybe, after talking to the people over there at Resilient, the 40 Smith & Wesson, that might just punch straight through this and not explode the can. If the 45-70, if we have to, that's gonna be the last one because that is way overboard. I totally expect that to obliterate the internals of this can. But all right, we got the Trilog on there right now. Best mount, in my opinion, for these guys on PCCs, quick, easy. This is a little sticky. A little sticky, that's fine. It's cold, all right. These are supers, nothing really special about these. Just fire these off out there and you hopefully maybe be able to hear how it sounds. Are those supers? Those are really quiet. Wow, you can hear it hitting paper down there. Hit steel, make everybody mad. Yep. That's cool, all right. Those must have been subs. Those are not supers. All right, that's that guy. So he works perfectly fine. He does what he needs to do. Now we're gonna take the Trilog off and put on a chemo, throw it on the AK. All right, so here we go. We got the chemo on there. He does lock up. Looks decent. I mean, it's kind of weird with this chemo on here, but it should be fine. I think this one will be fine, because I do believe you can fire Supersonic 300 Blackout, which is very equivalent to this setup. Don't know what grain weights these are, but let's shoot this. I'm not gonna put my ears on. I think we're gonna be fine. Let's make sure if something happens, we have footage. Here we go. Just firing off into the dirt. All right, I am gonna put my ears on. That's a little bit spicy. All right, here we go. It's working its way off a little bit. I don't know how that worked its way off so quick. All right, so there you go. He seemed to be fine. If we take this guy off, he's gonna get real hot real quick, but it's cold out, so that's actually kind of nice. Take this guy off. Hopefully we'll be able to look down in there. Oh, we look down in there and see if there's any major malfunctions. Do we see any major malfunctions? I don't. That looks fine to me. All right, so let's move on. That's the 7.6239. Let's throw it on a, since we already got the mount off, let's throw it on the 30-06, right? So a much higher pressure, not supposed to be shot through here. Let's check that. All right, so for sake of this, I've only got, I thought I had a whole magazine, but I've only got 2 rounds right now of this 30-06. I think they're like 180 grain. Not sure if that makes any difference at all, but this guy's on here with his Xeno. Let's see if this stacks up, and if we blast the can to Kingdom Come. Let's see. That was one round. Let's do another one. All right. There we go. Take this guy off. And I'm not tightening this guy super down on the mounts themselves. That's one reason he's coming off nice and easy. I'm not gonna fault that on the can. Let's look down in there. All right, again, I'm not seeing any major malfunctions, big, bad, nasty issues. He seems to be fine. There was already a little bit of gap right here in the front cap. That's me, that was already there, so we're not worried about that. It's not like it's pushing stuff out. All right, stick it on a full auto 556. All right, so here we go. This is where things could really start to get interesting, in my opinion. So we got this guy on a chemo. He's got it on there. We have the adjustable gas system here. Turn this a little bit this way. From Rifle Speed. So this guy should be, I think, properly gassed. We also have our Cryptech bulk carrier group in here. Pretty cool. That's a very, very slick bulk carrier group. Anyway, it's not about that, but here we go. We'll do one round to see if that one round will destroy anything. And if he takes it, we're gonna dump it, all right? So, take that guy off. He looks fine to me. No major malfunction. So here we go. Happy switch. Let's get these this way. I gotta shoot. I'm not in my regular spot, so I gotta make sure my angles are right. I'm not shooting in the wrong direction. All right, so we're gonna shoot this way, just like this. Are you ready? Okay. I'll bet he's kind of spicy and hot now, though. Get rid of that guy. Did hold open, for whatever that's worth. Didn't blow up off the front of the can. I bet that's gonna be really hot, though. Whew. The can itself's coming off. Okay, that's fine. Because we're not gonna need that mount anymore right now, I don't think. All right, let's look down in there. All right, so you can see a little bit of erosion on that blast baffle, getting a little hot. You can see a little bit of erosion, right? Because that is coming straight off of a 5.56. So if you did that much, it's gonna start eating away. It's not made for that. So if you did that a whole lot, you could start eating away at stuff. I feel like I'm hearing noises and stuff. Anyway, so that's this guy. Told you he's gonna start melting my stuff. Let's throw this on. Let's do the 40 now. Stick it on a 40. Let's see if that breaks it. Hey, that took me a minute. I was scared for a second because I was like, I didn't think I brought the right adapters and whatnot. So this is gonna be interesting. This is a 40 Smith & Wesson barrel. This is a bar stole barrel, a good barrel. And then we're running it on the Griffin Armament cam lock system. And this will be kind of a test on that system too, because I don't know how it's gonna take that pressure of an obviously underboard suppressor with a 40 cal. I don't know how it's going to work. As far as ammo goes, these are 180 grain blaster ammo from back in the day from Freedom Munition. Still had a little bit of that left. It actually seemed to suppress it just fine. Cam lock's locked up on there. Well, I'll be dipped, as what's his face says. That doesn't look like it did anything at all. Anything to that suppressor. Like, that looks fine. Can you even see that? I don't really see any major malfunctions in there. That is nuts. I don't even see it wiping. All right, we got a couple more rounds of that. Let's shoot a couple more rounds of that and then just go for it. Go to the 45-70. Anyway, here we go. We got, I'm gonna take these off because 40 suppressed is really nice. I'm still wearing my glasses, but here we go. 2 more rounds of this, see if it works. That sounds great. All right, that sounds perfectly fine. We do have some HSTs in here. I don't want to shoot a bunch. Let's just shoot 2 of those and see if that makes any difference. More cracky. Those are fast rounds. You can tell. Yeah, there you go. Yep, you can hear that supersonic crack. All right, but that's 40. Color me impressed, people. I thought for sure this is just gonna mess stuff up. But it really doesn't seem like the suppressor cares. So if you got an RS9, don't shoot 40 through it, but dadgum. Like, she's handling it fine. This is way more overbuilt than I thought it was gonna be. Way more overbuilt. But we do have a 4570. And I think that's the last straw. And I can't drag this video out for forever. So let's put this on the 4570 and hopefully the baffles don't go flying too far. All right, so this has to do something. Here we have our 4570, right? And here we have our RS9. As you can see, the RS9, maybe that'll be the thumbnail for us there. The RS9 is not bored properly to allow that 4570 to go through. So this is going to do something. I'm not sure how or what, but this is going to do something. So last time we're probably going to see this can right here in its configuration because this is stupid. This is for science, and I would not be doing this other than the fact that this can is going to be destroyed. It's going to be destroyed. So I'm gonna put my ears on because these are subs, believe it or not. But yeah, I want to keep my ears. And since I know this is gonna pop, I'm gonna put my glasses on. I'm gonna aim at steel. Here we go. That actually didn't sound bad. Before we load that new round in there, let's look at that. Ooh, okay. Hold on. Take this guy off. Okay, I hear crinkling going on. I do hear crinkling going on. You can see the end there. Yeah, you can see that. He's just got, there's something wedged up in there. All right, well, if you don't want to come off the traditional way, that mount's keeping him on there. Let's fire one more. See what happens. Yeah. So there you go. That's what's gonna happen. Now the can's not blowing up. It is just being destroyed, but he's not blowing up. All right, let's do another one. Is this even, this seems like it's not that loud. No, and the funny thing is, this is even suppressing it. This is actually suppressing it. That's really weird. I really want to get this off, but there's something stuck in that brake, I think. Or the mount. Okay, so he's come off the mount now. Just kind of take this guy, look at it. Oh, goodness, yes, okay. All right, so yeah, we definitely have a path of destruction going on. Oh, goodness, yeah. Hopefully we can see in here. Do we see now? Yeah, now we have a path of destruction. You can definitely tell. It didn't like the 4570, but I've got to tell you, it's not made to handle 4570. Let's walk back over here. I'm gonna dump this thing out and we'll take a look at this. All right, when I ran this idea past the folks over there at Resilient, they told me I would be surprised at how well this guy lasted. And I gotta say, I am actually very surprised how long this guy lasted. As you can see, there's a lot of some of the remains of the suppressor itself. I don't know. I don't want to cut myself. I would like to get this guy off. There we go, okay. All right, so I'm not sure how well you can see all that in there, and I don't have the tools right now to get down in there and get everything out. So I think that's about as informative as this is gonna get. I could just continue to shoot this thing, but I mean, it's obvious it's not working. Or it is working. That is the obvious thing to me. All right, if I was to say the obvious thing is that it's not working, that's not right. The obvious thing is that this thing does work. Even though, yeah, we blew it up. The outside of the can technically is fine. I mean, really? If you wanted to push out the baffles and just re-core this thing, you could totally do that. The fact that it held up full auto 5.56, it's not made for that, as far as I'm aware of. I do not believe it is. I'll have to double check. If I annotate it somewhere, then you know I went back and checked it and you know, all that stuff. But it works super well on 9mm, what it's made for. I was shocked that as a 40, it actually suppressed really well as a 40. Like, no problems. He worked. He did exactly what he needed to do. That is amazing to me. I wish I'd brought my 10 out, because the same caliber diameter and everything, I'll bet it would have been just fine. I bet it would have been just perfectly fine. Now obviously, when you're going with 4570, you are a 45 going down a 9mm bore is not going to work, and as you can see, it didn't work. But even when it wasn't working, it still suppressed it. Believe it or not, it still suppresses. So if it came down in a pinch and you absolutely had to use it, you get a couple shots off before you blow your core out. And obviously you can see we were not getting straight standard exits out the front. Like that bullet's starting to deviate, it's starting to hit sides and stuff's starting to just get all jumbled up. If we continue to do this, I think it would be messed up. For our last and final trick of the day, I'm gonna put everything back together. We'll stick it back on the Space Invader clone thing, the AR9, and we'll see what happens. I think since now we kind of have an obstructed bore line, I think we're gonna have some baffle strikes, as if that's what we're worried about now. And just for kicks and giggles, there's no more science in this anymore. This has just evolved into just whatever comes to my mind and putting this thing through its paces. It's already been put through its paces. Let's do that, and then we'll close out the video. I mean, pieces of the freaking suppressor are coming off. There we go. All right, but it's way off. That is, yeah, you basically have to walk the impacts in. So anyway, guys, should you do this to your can? Absolutely not. That's not what this whole video was about, was whether you should or shouldn't do this. This was stupid. I'll readily admit that. This is an ignorant thing to do. If you did this to your can on purpose, I don't see why Resilient would ever warranty such a thing. If you did it on purpose, I mean, you may as well just cut it in half and say, here, fix my can. That's just dumb. That's dumb. All right, so I started rambling there for a minute. The things that surprised me the most about all this is the 40. The fact that 40 didn't even seem to wipe the baffles. Like, it just punched a hole right through and didn't really affect anything. I mean, it was fine. It was fine, and I love shooting 40 Suppress. 40 Suppress is an awesome cartridge. If you don't know, go look at it. It's pretty stinking cool. But the fact that it made it through here and no really major adverse effects, as long as your suppressor is in line with your bore and it's not off just a tiny bit, it worked. Now, I wouldn't recommend it. I would not recommend it. But it did work. It surprised me. It surprised me. One thing I did not bring out today was my 45. That would have been interesting. Not sure how that would have been any different than the 4570, except that the 4570 has a lot more power behind it. So the blast and the shock, not shock, but just peppering and destroying the insides of this thing with that pressure, 4570 is going to have more than 45. But definitely it took it out, and that's not something that you should do. The 30-06, even that guy, he was fine. Shooting full auto, it did. That's the only time we really did start to see degradation or deterioration of that blast baffle. And I was not shooting that with a brake on the front of my rifle that I had that on. That's a flash hider on there. So with a brake, it may even have helped save some of that blast baffle from that, you know, early erosion. So anyway, guys, I'm not sure exactly how to close this video. I think it was fun. I think it was interesting. For whatever sake, I hope you got some enjoyment out of it. If you did, let me know. I'm not going to start doing this stuff. This is a very special case where this can is going back to Resilient already to be destroyed. And I just wanted to, you know, just put my little finishing notes on it before I send it back. Love the can. For what it's supposed to do as a 9mm can, it does fantastic. So definitely look at this guy. Not an underbuilt can, I will say that. This guy is lightweight. They tout it as being lightweight, low back pressure and all that stuff. And sometimes you might think that means that it's a weak can or a weaker can. Not in my experience. This is a freaking awesome can. All right, that's it. I'm gonna stop it there. Y'all be good to be safe. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate Resilient for sending this thing out, and hopefully the next one, everything's kosher with it as far as the ATF is concerned, and we can keep it for a longer period of time and do some more fun stuff with it. All right, y'all be good to be safe. Appreciate you guys watching, subscribing, and everything, and hopefully we'll catch you guys in the next video. See ya.